Hello there, and welcome back to Dance Colleges and Careers. I'm your host, Brittany, and today we are going to be talking about dancing in heels. Okay, this topic is kind of finicky because it's definitely just my opinion. Okay, I've been judging for over 10 years. I've seen a lot of routines in heels and not in heels. I've seen dancers of all levels. So it's just my opinion from what I've seen, and then also what I went through myself as a dancer, as well as in my professional career performing in heels versus performing in boots or sneakers or jazz shoes barefoot. So keep that in mind, personal opinion, but I do have a lot of experience. The common thing I always hear from dance teachers and other dancers, like young dancers, is I need to start dancing in heels so I can practice for my professional world, or so I can, because when you're a professional, you're always dancing in heels. Okay, but those are also the same people who say when you're a professional, you'll only be dancing barefoot. That's very one-sided and only based off, and that's probably what happened for them. Okay, maybe they graduated and they danced barefoot forever. But it's not what happened for me. So, like I said, my personal experience. So the most common thing I hear from dancers and young dancers is that they think they need to start dancing in heels as soon as they can because they have to get all the practice in them in the world. Because if they want to be a professional dancer, that's what they have to be good at, and that's the only way they'll get hired. I totally disagree. You're not. How about point shoes? Do we start as soon as we can on point? No. It is, you have to have the foundation to dance in heels, to dance in point shoes. Okay, so even if you're saying, I have the foundation, I've been dancing for 11 years, whatever, great, fine. But I want to talk about the competition side of it, because if you feel pressured into wearing heels so that you'll score higher because it's the only way that you'll be able to work as a professional, I'm here to tell you that's not true. And how there are not bonus points on a scoring rubric that says dancer is in heels, extra 10 points. You know what I mean? Sure, maybe you get likable points, and I can guarantee you the judge is going to say, wow, I love, because I always say this, I've said it too, right? Wow, I love seeing this young dancer already working in heels. What a great challenge for them. It's great to see such a young dancer doing this so young. Have you heard that, or can you picture hearing that? Yeah, it's a very common thing. I'm sure if you decide to do your dance in heels, you're going to hear it too. And I'll get into more of that in another episode when I'm talking about judges and critiques and how to get the most out of listening to it, what they're saying and how you should be listening to it. Okay. But why might you dance in heels, or like what to expect? Okay. First of all, it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to dance in heels. It's harder to jump. So any jumps you do will probably not be as high as if you had your jazz shoes on. You have to have, as the dancer, more strength and technique to be able to manage, maintain, and not walk like a duck, not dance like a duck, actually look comfortable and confident on stage. Strength and technique go hand in hand with working in heels. So if you have more strength, you get better in your heels. When you have better technique and like ballet technique, jazz technique, you'll get better in your heels. Once you have more maturity and weight change balance, you're going to get better in your heels. So something I want you to compare this to is Taekwondo. You know, in Taekwondo or martial arts, how everybody's aiming for that black belt? Well, right. I was just at my nephew's Taekwondo class. So this is why I'm thinking about this. And he is a white belt. He's a white belt. And what I was amazed at was the patience and discipline they were teaching in Taekwondo. And I swear he held this position, or whatever, white belt Taekwondo position, for like 5 minutes. And he just stood there patiently. And he was, it wasn't like, oh, he was sweating and working so hard. No, he was just patiently learning his moves before he could learn his white and yellow belt with the stripe in it, and then the yellow belt, and then the green, and then you work your way up to the black belt. So I want you to think of it like that. You don't, wherever you are right now, you don't have to dance in heels because that's the black belt. Yes, that is likely what you'll do as a professional. It's not the only thing you'll do. It's not the only way you'll be hired and working. I did a lot of jobs. I worked at Disney, not in heels. They were like a jazz boot, combat boot type of shoe, and it was great. It was fun. So it's not the only way that you're going to work as a professional. And know that the more you improve your technique and your strength along the way, the easier it's going to be when you put those heels on. Okay, so that's just some information about it. Let's talk about the judging rubric. If you are doing one solo and you're putting your heels on with your solo so that you can score higher, I really doubt it's going to happen. I'm sorry to say that. Okay, if you're doing it because you have a second solo and you want to try different style, 100% go for it. That's amazing. Plus, the judges, again, will be excited to see you do that because then you're showing your versatility. It's fun to see two totally different things. It's not fun to see you do almost two of the exact same solo. I guess it's not fun to see a lyrical and contemporary that's almost the same, right? But to see something so different, it does give you a leg up. It does make you more likable for all of your other routines, okay? So it's not a bonus point. You can't get bonus points for wearing heels, but you get likability credits. Like when somebody smiles so much, but maybe they didn't point that toe right there, and you're like, well, okay, I'll forgive that one because you're so charming, your personality is there, so you're giving other parts of the scoring rubric while your technique might be a little bit less, right? So it's that likability factor. So if you have your heels on and if it changes your style, if you feel better, if you dance better, if you now have this amazing style that like others in your dance studio don't get, they can't do it as well as you. I'm thinking like a Fosse style, okay? Or like that sassy jazz. If you're doing that and you put your heels on and you look and feel amazing, then absolutely, you do you like be your best self. But if you're only doing it to score higher, your mindset is in the wrong place. Okay. If you're doing it for your second solo, or let's say you're doing like a ballroom dance, yeah, then you definitely should have that heel on. But it's a small heel. Yeah, it's not. You don't need to put on the big heels. Even my professional shoes that I have are only 2.5 inches. Some people go higher or lower, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a low heel or a high heel. So stay within your comfort zone. And that's just what I bought. That's what I was recommended to buy for my foot size by LaDuca in the store when I lived in New York. So let's say that you're like, I'm all in, Brittany. I'm going to do my solo in heels. I'm super excited. I already have my costume picked out. I bought new boots or whatever you're going to be doing your dance in. And you feel amazing. You love the music. And that's the goal. Okay, so here's a couple tips to now start succeeding throughout the year. First of all, we need to have more control in our parallel and our turned out positions. So you know how when we do a plie in parallel first position and we want our knees to go right over our toes? If that at all is a struggle for you right now, you need repetition. You need to start building your leg muscles and even take your ballet classes very, very seriously. Because when you have a heel on, you have to show the foot. You have to direct the feet where they're going, and you have to be able to direct the whole lower half of the body because it's all about elongating and creating these positions and looking more mature. And if we stand pigeon-toed at all, or even don't place the foot exactly where it has to go, you have this huge extension on your heel that will make it look bad. It'll make the position look bad. Same thing as in point, okay? If you have a point shoe on your foot and then you can't point your foot all the way, it's not going to look great, right? Because you have this big block at the end of your shoe that's holding you back. So parallel versus turned out, and that transitions us into core work. If you're doing a solo in heels, actually, if you're doing a solo at all, you already should be doing core work every day. Not just what you're doing in class. You should take a few minutes outside class, 20 minutes at home, and do some core work, meaning crunches or there's a million YouTube videos or like exercises your teachers do. Take 10 to 20 minutes and give yourself an extra ab workout, and you are going to move so much more solid in your heels, because it's all about control from the center, from the core, and from the pelvis. So do yourself a favor today. Don't wait until January. And that's when I start getting phone calls of like, can you help me fix my solo? Yes, I can. Do some core work. Do your abs. It'll be a lot easier. Okay. Second of all, when you're dancing, you have to shift your weight into the balls of your feet. That might sound obvious, but we have our heels on. So if our weight is sitting back, you can't move very fast. Your gut is going to be hanging out. And you can't move very fast. So you actually have to shift your weight forward into the balls of your feet, like you would if you had a tap shoe on. And you work more in your plie. As you step out, bend your leg. I mean, yes, you have to straighten your knees at the end of the extension as well, but extend the leg, push more in your plie, move more, because otherwise you are going to put your shoes on and you're going to move like you're inside of a very small square box and not use any of your stage. And that is when our score suffers. Okay. That is when you might be amazing, but everything that you normally would do gets shrunken down into a really tiny box. And I see your potential, but in comparison to like maybe the dancer right before or after, if you're not able to execute fully what you're capable of because you have that block on your foot, there's no way you can outscore the person ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? So unless it puts you in the best version of you, great, do it. There's been a handful of times when I've seen this done well, okay? And I can promise you they were young, but the reason why is because they had exceptional ballet technique and exceptional jazz technique. And then they did keep doing their solos and heels, and they looked amazing. And they graduated looking like Rockettes. But you know what? They kind of started at 12 looking like Rockettes because they were really, really, really strong in their technique. So I guess the lesson of today is keep working on that technique, and it's going to push you forward to be better working in heels. Dance in heels, if it's fun, absolutely. I also think, yes, for recitals, go, absolutely. The whole team, everybody can wear heels. Not like you have to. I don't think you have to. But if it's something you want to try at the studio because it would be fun, great, do it. But only doing it to score higher at competition is not going to get you the results you want. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'm joining you here from Venice, Italy, so my background is a little bit differently, but I'm super glad to be here with you. If you want to get in touch with me, if you're listening to this and you have a hang up, you're like, wait a minute, so does that mean I should be in heels or you're not? There's a place in the description below where you can email me and ask me a question. So go there right now. Fill out the form, send me an email, and I look forward to hearing from you. I love talking to you guys about this, and maybe I can even feature your story on the next episode if you're willing to share. Okay? So like I said, that is in the description below, so just go there where it says send Brittany a message, and I can't wait to help you. Can't wait to hear your story. You have a great day, and keep on dancing.